everyone, I'm Lindy Witten. Welcome to my studio. And today my studio is in northern Austria, so not back home in Tasmania because I'm travelling. I should have been outside painting this for you, but it's bucketing with rain, so I'm actually painting one inside. Over the next couple of weeks I'll show you how I developed this painting from the planning stage right through to the review stage. I hope you're going to enjoy it. We're going to start off with planning and materials and the wash, and then we'll move on to the other aspects over the next couple of weeks. Here are the images I'm going to use for this painting, and it's the foreground I like here. It really reminds me of my whole trip. The poppies were everywhere, wildflowers were all over the place, this yellow broom, it's just beautiful, so I want to use that one. But I also want to use the next one. This photo does have some of the poppies and the yellow broom in it, but I want to use that previous one to give me a big mass of them in the foreground. The other thing I want is to have one of these old stone churches. Churches were all over the place, all sorts of different ones, but I want this one. I want the terracotta roof. I'm not putting Trevor in. What I'm going to do is move the church. I'm going to use this part of it here. I like the tree to give it a bit of a height, a bit of barren rock in the background because there was a lot of that in Croatia, and then I'm going to move this church over to about here, and then all the flowers in the foreground, and that will give me a nice composite view memory of some of the Croatian countryside that I really enjoyed. So I'm going to get on with the painting now.
I'm in northern Austria and I was supposed to have a day painting outdoors, but it's been raining, so I'm just going to do one indoors of a bit more of a sunnier scene. This is my painting set for my travel set for acrylics. I've got 3 yellows, a yellow ochre plus acrylamide, yellow light and yellow deep, so I've got a cooler and a warmer yellow and an earth yellow. I've got dioxazine purple because it's a great colour for just helping darken things, and some titanium white. I've got only one red, which is naphtha crimson, although I have a burnt sienna, which is an earth red, and I've got transparent peronone orange. So that orange will help to lighten off my red if I want a lighter, warmer red. I've got permanent green line and phthalo green. I don't usually use tube greens, but when I'm travelling to Europe, I'll take those two, and then because there's a lot of green here, and I can use those modified with blues and a bit of reds and purples and yellow ochres to make some other greens. So I don't usually use them straight out of the tube, I'll modify them. I've only got one blue, a French ultramarine, and I've got a black, which I rarely use but sometimes use. And that's my travel kit because they all come in these very small 20ml or 0.67 US fluid ounce tubes, and they're really great for travelling to keep it light. I wanted to bring another blue, but I just was running out of I've got some larger blue tubes, but I was running out of weight in my suitcase, so I couldn't. So they're the colours, variations of colours I'm using. On my palette you can see it's already mixed up and messy. That's from a previous one I did. This is one of those Masters and Stay Wet Handy palettes, and it's fantastic for travel because I've had those. It's been 35 degrees for weeks, and I've had that sitting in the car all day, every day, and that is still damp and the paint's still usable, so it's a great way to keep your paints. I've got this little sketch that I'm going to use, so even though I'm not painting outside today, I'm using a sketch I did from outside and some other photos I took at the time. And really this one is just about that sunny feel of all the wildflowers I've seen. I want that memory, the memory of the churches and the sort of barren rocky hillscapes, and then a lot of green in there. So that's what I'll be using. I've got some paper towels because I didn't bring any rags with me, again because of weight. I have various brushes, flats because I like flats, a couple of palette knives, getting a little bit of texture in, and then let's move those all out of the way to one side. And then I have one of these painting boards. It's sanded on one side and not on the other. I'll just use the sanded side there. And my first job will be to wash. Put a nice wash on because I don't want the white to show through. I'm going to put just a bit of paper towel underneath it because this is someone else's house we're renting and I don't want to get paint on their table. So I'll just pad up underneath it. And later on I'll take a photo of the filming rig I've got. It's a very strange setup, but it's the best I could do since I've got trouble with my pochard box not being able to stay open. Okay, just going to get on with it now. So I'm going to use for this one is orange. I'm choosing orange because I wanted it to be warm, but also because it reflects the orange of the church roof, and some orange for the poppies. I could have used red, could have used pink. I just want something warm. I could have used yellow, and in fact I'll probably add in a little bit of burnt sienna as well to that, so it's not straight orange mix. I'll just take that right out all the sides. You can see why I laid down that paper, so I don't get it all over their nice coffee table. I might have gone, my husband's gone to Prague for the day and I was going to go to Tabor, drop him off at the train station and paint all day. Yesterday we went into Český Krumlov in the Czech Republic and it bucketed. It was so wet. My raincoat really wasn't up to coping with it. On top of that, which we didn't know, there was a festival going on there. And they were expecting 25,000 people that day, so it was crowded, it was wet, and it was uncomfortable. And so that was my day yesterday. So today when I looked up the weather forecast for Tabor, and it was 50% chance to 80% chance of rain, I just said, no, I can't do that again, and stayed home. And so now that's why I'm doing one inside, because it's raining here as well. Okay, that's just got to dry off now. It's just warm enough to give it a bit of warmth. I am going to actually add in a little bit of yellow ochre, so I'll put some more of that out on here. A bit of yellow ochre, just to vary up the underpainting there. And I think I'll put that up into the sky, just to make the sky a little bit yellower rather than redder. The red is a great complementary colour for all the greens I'm going to put down here. The yellow will help be a complementary colour for the blues of the sky. So just roughly on, and I haven't put in any sense of value yet. It's just a plain wash to help tie that together. Let's wait for that to dry.